Well, a little bit of a missed encounter here. Before we went to the next chapter, I didn't realize that the Chaka had delivered a note. Kalen, we've found our lost friend, but his playmates won't be happy and will want him back. We'll wait for you at the Feral Duck in Darby, then take him home together. So I just kept on going because I knew they broke the bridge, and obviously I knew where they were. So now you go to this is the Feral Duck outside of Darby. So they kind of sent you on a goose chase. Draka was here with the note, and they tell you to kind of go back to where you started. So nobody was here, but then you gotta go over. Then I go over to the couriers, to reliable couriers. Kalen questioned the clerk. Excuse me, sir. Your courier Naku delivered a message to us. We were wondering if you could recall anything about the young man who sent it. The clerk thought for a moment. Well, they did seem rather anxious about something. How many were in the party? 3, I think. Yes, 3. 2 young men about your age, and 1 a little younger. I seem to recall they mentioned taking a room at the Feral Duck, a local inn. So now you can go over there, and let's go to the Feral Duck. Raoul described William and Aaron to the innkeeper, asking if they were staying at the Feral Duck. The innkeeper tugged his ear and said, doesn't ring any bells. Kalen added, a young Chalen nobleman might be with them. The innkeeper idly scratched his palm. Nope, still no bells. Kalen noticed the innkeeper had left his hand lying open on the counter. She looked into his face, but he kept his eyes fixed on a rafter that apparently held particular interest for him. So basically, he's looking for a bribe. So let's pay him some money. You pay him 20. No bells. That's not enough money. Yeah, pay him. I'm just gonna pay him up. I don't care. So, not enough, man. He really wants some money. So I'll just pay him like $100 or something. Let's say 100 burles. Kalen casually put the burles in the innkeeper's hand. It disappeared beneath the counter as if by magic, reappearing a moment later, empty. Oh yes, of course. Now I remember. The men you're looking for had to leave in a bit of a hurry. I think they left a note for you somewhere. Now where did I put it? Rather than looking for the note, the innkeeper maintained his position, his palm empty, open and relaxed on the counter. This could get expensive, Raoul muttered. So, he demands more money. Gotta give him some more money here. Oops. I meant to... Let me give him more money than that. Obviously, I meant to give him like $50 just to end this. Hopefully. The innkeeper's hand disappeared with the money while his other hand slapped his forehead. Oh, silly me. I just remembered. I had it in my pocket all along. I completely forgot. I put it there so it wouldn't get lost. The innkeeper pulled out the note and handed it to Kalen. Kalen. Oh, different note. Kalen, Junior's playmates are coming, but Junior's exhausted. We think he's had enough play for a while, so we're taking him to his new home. If you can meet up with us on the way, it might be helpful in case Junior's playmates don't take no for an answer. So basically they're saying that we're going to Antara, because he was supposed to get married to Princess Aurora there. And now I'm going to load up, we're going to start up the next chapter. So, since I know that we're eventually going to meet up, I kept some books. You know, some books, and I gave a blessed Montari plate mail I'm going to give to Kaylin as a gift, of course, because we love Kaylin so much. Anyway, so let's do the trade. Here, boom. And put that in there for now. And then I gave her Panaka's Last Stand. Oh, I forgot to say, in between videos, I did some training with Kaylin, just so that she would have higher defense, and it wouldn't take forever for us to end this chapter. So Panaka's Last Stand gives her +5 to defense. And I'm gonna give them the Adventures of Carl Maston that we read from the last chapter. That gives you bonus to stealth, bonus to scouting. Just like 3 of each. Boom. He's gonna have to. Oh, also she can also read this one. Swamp Survival Skills. That one gives her more to stealth. And then he can carry Carl Maston now. Boom, baby. Put him up on stealth. So Aaron and William don't really need any stealth. I mean, his scouting helped a little bit. He's almost maxed out on scouting when he has the ring on. See, the reason they don't need it is they can wear this ring. Kaylin, on the other hand, there's no ring for her. So she's going to have to go back and do stealth and scouting. I'm not going to do melee yet since the max is 90 in this chapter. So it's just, boom. I'm happy with that. And then let's make sure he's back on lock picking. He can keep archery. He doesn't have to do stealth anymore, as I said. So he maxed out spellcasting last time, so I'm gonna click spellcasting again, and he should be ready to go. Let's see if anything happened with him. If he's got any more spells. Nope. So our mission for this chapter is to unravel the mystery. Okay. Oh, in case I didn't show, we are currently in the town of Breland, and we're in this part of the world. This part of the world is called Gone. Right? I'm sorry. This is Januli. This was Gone. And this was Pianda. Decoro was Decoran land over here. Well, that was Antara. I guess Antara. This entire thing is owned by the Antaran Empire. Yeah. Before William could knock, the door was thrown open and a distraught young woman rushed out. My baby! She screamed and ran down the path through the village. Okay. A big man with a red, angry face opened the door. Well, what do you want? We were just wondering what all the commotion was about. None of your business, and none of theirs either. The man yelled and slammed the door in the trio's startled face. A group of men stood on the doorstep, their voices raised in anger. I say let's shoot it and be done with it. But Carl says he doesn't know where it is. Well, we've got to find it before he does any more damage. William approached the angry knot of men. What's the problem? One of the men spat. Damn Terang's gone crazy. It stole Vero's baby and ran into the woods. Probably going to eat the kid. The door was open, half torn off its hinges. Looking inside the room, Kaylin saw overturned furniture, closets emptied haphazardly of their contents, food splattered on the floor and walls. This place has been trashed, but it doesn't look like the work of human vandals. A withered old man opened the door. A silver film covered the pupils of his eyes. Yes? Who is it? What is all the commotion? Aaron is, we are travelers. There's a lot of activity in town today, but you should be safe enough. Oh, that is good. Will you come in for a minute? All of you. The threesome entered the cottage, following the old man. Aaron noticed a small ball of intense light floating a few feet in front of the man's eyes. It drifted down to a chair. The man's eyes tracked it. He sat on the ball of light, zipped out from under him, just in time to avoid being squashed. Is that some kind of lightning bug? Asked Aaron, intrigued by the light's behavior. The man laughed like dry leaves rustling. No, this is my little seeing eye light, Twink. Say hello to the gentleman. The little light pulsated. Aaron asked, are you a mage? Yes, that is, I was. Once I had the power of fire. I could weave a curtain of energy until it was bright enough to blot out the sun. But power has its price, as you can see, and as I could not. I would not curb my gift for the sake of my eyes. Over the years, both my magic and my sight failed me. Until now, all I can see is all I can see, and vice versa. After a life spent in brilliance, Twink is my one light in the darkness. Kaylin asks, are you in any pain? Not much, though my eyes do burn with dryness most day. Sun water helps, but it is costly. And let's give him some sun water. The flask of sun water slipped into the mage's hand. Perhaps this will soothe your eyes. The mage poured some sun water into his hand. Tipping his head back, he trickled a few drops into each eye. Oh. That was kind of our guess, wasn't it, Twink? The light danced around the mage's head, but what can I do for you? Aaron chewed his Well, yes? William interjected. Sir, my friend is a mage, a novice. I'm sure he's trying to think of a polite way to ask you if you'll teach him some magic, of your magic. The mage considered. I don't know. The risks are high, as you can see, as I could not. Aaron grew impatient. Yes, I know. You already said that, but I'll be careful. Really? And it's not like you have to teach me anything dangerous. Please? Ah, youth. Always think they know what's best. Alright, I'll show you the basics. Even a fool couldn't hurt himself with that much. William couldn't Well then, Aaron should be alright. Aaron ignored the remark since the mage had already begun his instruction. The mage conveyed a surprising amount of information in an hour, after which the man grew too tired to continue, and the companions bade him farewell. Twink followed them to the door, then returned to a light in the mage's upturned palm. On the way down the path, William asked something that had long been puzzling him. Aaron, why is it whenever a mage teaches you something, it always takes about an hour? Aaron considered, then shrugged. You know, William, I have no idea. So he gave me 1 to spell casting. Looks like he gave me 12 to fire. Wow, that's pretty good. And yeah, that's it. And I got a new spell. Lava Spear. It's time to save a baby, guys. There's clearly some woods over here. The woman met them at the door, her baby clutched tightly in her arms. I didn't see any baby. I don't know how the baby got out of there. Okay. She could hardly speak through her tears of joy. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You saved my sweet little babu. Cor bless you. Our pleasure, ma'am. The woman thrust a small velvet bag at William. Here, take this. It's a pearl. I want you to have it, please. The young mother broke down in tears again. The companions took the pearl and removed themselves from the scene of the emotional reunion. Thanks. The florid man sat on a stoop, drinking whiskey straight from a jug. He glared up at William with reddened eyes. You did it, didn't you? You killed him, he said, his voice halfway between a growl and a sob. I found him when he was a baby. He'd fallen from a tree. I took him home and made splints for his tiny broken legs. I named him Mulk. Kaelin put her hand on Call's shoulder. You should have returned him to the forest when he was healed. Tears rolled down Call's face. He brushed them away angrily. I couldn't. His own kind would have smelled human on him and torn him to pieces. Kaelin patted him several times and took her hand away. You did what you thought was right, but a creature of the forest can't change its nature. I know. Why did I have to save his life just so he would be hunted and cut down like a... The man's voice broke. Like a wild animal, William concluded. The three friends turned away, no longer able to bear the sight of Call's grief.
Does it seem awfully quiet all of a sudden?
again. I ran right into those dogs. Darn. They told us in the cinematic to head to that they suspected Nathby would be the one would have a clue. So we're gonna head to Nathby. Little asshole just freaking poisoned me. Town of Nightbridge. As the party approached the bar, a painting on the wall drew Aaron's attention. William, he called excitedly, take a look at this. William joined Aaron to stare at the painting. Well, I'll be. The beast on the canvas was a dead ringer for the one that killed Gregor. The tavern keeper approached. Proudly he said, So you've noticed my monster? Isn't it a fine piece of art? I think it gives the place a certain amount of class, don't you? William hastened to agree. Sure, cultural distinction. Who's the artist? He's a local fellow. Lives right in town, kind of an odd duck, but talented. Name's Perdugo. Perdugo, eh? William mused. It might be worthwhile to pay our respects to the artist. Januli Greatsword. The mastersmiths of Januli produced a handful of such blades every year, each of unique and exquisite craftsmanship. They offered unparalleled balance, durability, and striking power, and felt so natural to wield that they functioned as an extension of the fighter himself. A Januli Greatsword was a weapon to be honored and respected. Alright, so this is a pretty damn good sword right here. You know, we have the money. I'm just gonna take that sword right now. I might have to rearrange something up our inventory, but you know, this is definitely better than a broadsword. The Jude. I won't need that Wrath Slayer thing if you're wondering, obviously. But if I did need it, I know where to find it, and I can buy it back for 803 burlos. I might come back for one of these. Yes, can I help you? Chimed a clear voice from within. The party entered through the open door, then they stopped and stared in astonishment. The room was filled with wondrous toys of every kind, carved wooden animals on wheels, spinning tops, masks and costumes, miniature swords and shields, even a Joyman doll, his tricot feathered hat perched at a rakish angle. This is amazing. Galen looked through the window of a tiny castle. There's a tiny emperor inside. He's standing in front of a mirror, trying on an ermine robe, and there's a tailor too, taking his measurements. It's perfect down to the last detail. Thank you very much, my dear. Though the companions looked around, they still could not find the source of the voice. Suddenly, from behind the counter, out walked a little man standing only about as high as Kalen's waist. He swaggered up to her with an odd rolling gait. Then he made a full bow. I am charmed, he said in polished tones. Kaylin was taken aback, but she managed a graceful curtsy of her own. Likewise, I'm sure. Are you the toy maker? Asked Aaron, his eyes round with wonder. The midget's blue eyes sparkled. Yes, I am. Do you like my creations? Oh, very much indeed. The children of Nightridge must adore you. The toy maker clambered up on a tall stool so as to be eye to eye with his visitors. I hope so. You see, that is why I became a toy maker in the first place. So the children would like me. I grew up in this town all through my childhood. Those who were my own age or older picked on me, while the younger ones were afraid. You became a toy maker so they wouldn't be afraid? Because I was different, yes. I'll never forget the day I opened my shop. No one came in the whole morning and well into the afternoon. In a town this size, if a new shop opens and the townspeople don't flock to it immediately, that's a sure sign it will fail. You obviously didn't fail. What happened? Aaron inquired. A young woman, Sarah, brought her little sister in. The little girl was shy, hanging back until she spied a particular Empress doll. She started playing with it. Soon all the other children had their noses glued to the windows watching her. One by one they crept in and began to play with my toys. That's a happy ending. Oh, that wasn't the ending. That was just the beginning, the little man grinned. Hopped from a stool and went to a cradle hidden in the corner. He lifted out a newborn babe, her head covered with curls like spun gold. You see, Sarah and I got married. This is Sarlette, our third child. Kaylin felt her eyes moisten. Now that's a happy ending. Best of luck to you, Master Toymaker. May your own children be your best customers of all. The artist was at home and more than happy to show the companions around his studio. Pointing to a canvas painted entirely blue, he said, "This is when Perdugo was in his blue mood. A mix of blue after blue, but not quite what I looking for. Took 7 weeks to find the blue, and she is it." Kaylin moved to stand in front of a large canvas, spattered with a myriad of colors. And this was when you were in your rainbow phase? No. That is a piece from Perdugo's early days when I was still trying to find self. I call it Portrait of Young Man as an Artist. William attempted to be diplomatic. All these paintings seem to be quite different than the beast we saw in The Sword and the Crook. You did that too, didn't you? Perdugo snorts. Piffle. Pig snot. That Perdugo do on commission. Perdugo have to eat too, you know. William protested, but you portrayed it so accurately. The artist snorted again. Thingness. Mere thingness. You take a thing, you put it on canvas. Except in this case, Perdugo just have a description to go on. No model. Makes more challenging. Aaron became interested. You mean someone around here actually saw one of those creatures? Yes. Farrell. It made mincemeat out of his arm. Oh yes, Farrell. He got a real close look at Beast. William led his friends toward the door. It's been quite fascinating, Perdugo, but we should be going. The artist shrugged and pointed to a canvas half filled with black and purple streaks. Perdugo need to get back to work anyhow. Kaylin studied the canvas. What is it? A thunderstorm? The wife of the mayor. He commissioned a portrait, but then he doesn't pay, so this is how Perdugo see the life when his stomach crawls with hunger. A one-armed man answered the door. Yes. Williams said, Are you Farrell? We'd like to ask you about the flying beast that attacked you. I'm Farrell. What do you want to know? Aaron improvised. We were attacked by one of them too. We're wondering if it could have been the same one. At least you were lucky enough to still have all your limbs, the man said bitterly. But our companion lost his life. Too bad, I guess I got lucky too. It was a couple of years ago. I was working my fields. The creature must have flown in from the waste. I felt a shadow cross over to me. Too quick to be a cloud. I looked up to see the monster diving down right on top of me. It grabbed me in its talons and carried me clear across town. Why did it drop you? Something hit it. A fireball, I found out later. I fell into a haystack. The beast mauled my arm so bad that the healer had to take it off. The man rubbed his stump. Turns out Lord Sheffield's mage, Bryce, was in town that day. He saw the thing and nailed it with a spell. Funny thing was, he didn't kill the creature, just stunned it. Telling all the townsfolk to keep back, he went to the beast's side and did some magic stuff that seemed to calm it down. Then it flew away. William thought out loud. Interesting. The monster attacking us was out for blood. Aaron here had to kill it. Farrell looked at Aaron with new respect. That must have been some trick. Yeah, Aaron smiled, casting a sidelong glance at. You're not the first to say that. The damage she does is way higher now. So the Januli greatsword actually does more damage than the one that William is carrying, but Williams has better stats and accuracy, so it's more accurate. Kind of so I guess it's a mixed bag. It's pretty hard too. 38 is good hardness, so it doesn't get damaged that easily. A young man gambled with several Montari. The companions watched long enough to determine that the human was losing badly. The Montari cleaned him out, but he tried to prolong the play with vouchers. Don't you know who I am? My word is worth thousands, he cried in a drunken rage. The gold Montari stood, followed by the two grays. We don't play for paper. You'll play for paper with me. The young man lunged forward. The Montari leader sidestepped neatly as the man fell on his face. The Montari sniffed derisively, brushing past the companions on their way out the door. Aaron bent to help the man up, but a string of drunken curses and a stiff arm in the ribs convinced him to leave the man be. Got a new item here, fatty meat. The purity of the slab was fat. It was only marred by a sliver of meat which had somehow wandered into foreign territory. Okay, so probably use another whetstone here. I mean, if this isn't completely destroyed, hardening fluid's nice, but let's put this over here. Let's get some hardening fluid. It's actually really cheap, too.
Oh, good day, good day. Welcome to Marlin's Mercantile. How may I be of service?
Clearly we need him, obviously. Like anyone who, if you were going to this, playing this game, you would kind of know, like, hey, eventually we're going to need to do something with him. The party looked in through the open door. A group of men sat at the table involved in a game of cards. A man at the far end looked up and invited them in. A fat man laughed. More fish for you to scale, Jax. I think we'll watch for a bit first, William answered jovially. After all, we need a chance to find your tells. The men laughed at that and resumed their play. The tide of the game was quickly apparent as much of the money was pulled towards the enigmatic gentleman at the end of the table. When the players finally called a break, Aaron pulled the winner aside. You're cheating, he said. I can sense the magic. You're making your hands move faster than the others can see, probably pulling cards from hidden places. The enigmatic man was nonplussed. So, what are you gonna do about it? Aaron waved his hands dismissively. Nothing, as long as you teach me how to do it. The man laughed. Tell you what, you beat me at a game of cards, I'll give you a lesson. He smiled, pointing to the pile of coins at his seat. The stake will be 300 burlas a hand. If you can clean me out, you'll have more than earned it. And yes, I'll play fair. So this is kind of why I've been gambling with Aaron for the entire time. This is just for fun, obviously. You don't even have to do this. But let's have some fun. Aaron looked over the hand. The men's cycle. Aaron won the first one. Aaron won the second one. And the third. Fourth. And I won. And he gave me one spell casting. And he gave me 15 to movement. Because, obviously he was using movement. It's just for fun, as I mentioned. But I easily beat him, and I easily took 1,200 gold from him. Party saw a man and a woman sitting under a tree holding hands. Greetings, William called out, and the couple stood to meet them. Ho, travelers, welcome to Beluck. Kaylin brushed the dust off her skirt. It's not difficult to tell we've been on the road, is it? We were wondering if you had any food or goods to sell. The man glanced at his wife, then replied, Well, yes, I have a service I'd provide. No, Tibber, don't. It always takes so much out of you. The woman laid her hand as Tibber gently removed it. Cecilia, I have to ply my trade if I'm to earn enough to keep you out of the brothel. Don't worry, I'll be all right. William was intrigued. What is it that you do? Though I'm not a mage, I can channel magic. If you have a magical staff, I can recharge it for 500 burlas. Does this harm you? Tibber put his arm around Cecilia's shoulder. No, but it is very tiring. Just recharging one item alone will necessitate Many days of rest, but that is my gift, so that is what I do. I think if I were you, I'd look for another line of work, Kaylin said. So, you know, if I really didn't use the staff much, but had I used it a lot more, he could recharge it for me. The old man sat in a chair on the front porch, soaking up rays from the sun. A manservant stood by his side, occasionally reaching over to adjust the lap robe. The party approached. "My lord, some visitors to see you," the servant shouted, cupping his hand to the gentleman's good ear. The old man turned blurry eyes in William's direction. "Petitioners, no doubt. Christopher, I'm afraid you'll have to tell them I can't help them, nor will talking to my son do them a look of good. The damn fool wastes his education and his opportunities, preferring to spend his days in the company of whores and gamblers." William spoke. "Are you a Jaeger, me lord?" The man looked puzzled until the servant shouted the question several times. "Yes, I'm a Jaeger. Our line goes back to long before the Empire. My ancestors marched with the first Emperor Valorian when he took the Piandin Peninsula. They fought side by side in Ambra and Quavain." The old man broke off, coughing. The servant rushed to help him swallow a spoonful of viscous liquid poured from a large bottle. "Where was I?" the Jaeger continued. "Oh yes, nothing is the way it used to be. Corruption, greed, scandals. The sure is the worst, of course, but even the Jaegers, we should be above such things." The Jaeger started to work up again. The servant waved the party off with his hand, then whispered to calm the old man, nodding off into a light doze. The Jaeger murmured, "Mayrats, invading pirates, strikes, and a worthless son to boot. At least I won't be around long enough to see much more of this thing, Core."
Hello, pretty. What's your name?
My name is Misha, but a man as handsome as you might call me anything he likes. Do you and your friends want a party?
I guess not today.
Come back anytime. The door is always open to fine folk like yourselves.
Take care of yourself, Misha. In your line of work, no one else will.
let the dogs out, man. There's dogs everywhere. They're kind of a lame opponent, to be honest. Why are there so many dogs over here? My God, go away. Diamond Shield Stone. They can protect you against lightning damage.
Excuse me. Aren't you Paul, first mate of the Fair Current?
Why, if it isn't William Escobar! Sit down, my friend, sit down.
Do you remember Gregor, the minstrel?
Oh, Karen's kiss is sweeter than wine. Her arms around my neck entwine. My favorite song. Gregor sang it often, and well.
I'm sorry to tell you he didn't survive the shipwreck.
A pity that. Here's to him.
Since I was with him when he died, I feel a duty to find his friends in case they haven't heard of his passing. Did he ever mention any names to you?
I never saw him on land, just at sea. I do recall him mentioning a girl from Beluck. Misha was her name. He said she was the one the rhyme was originally written about. There once was a girl from Beluck. If you had the price, you could...
I think we get the general idea. There is a lady present after all.
She doesn't look like she offends all that easy to me.
Trust me, nothing about Kalen is easy.
You were saying?
Anyhow, Gregor said Misha was a sweet girl trying to earn her loaf of bread in a hard world. You might want to look her up.
I'm glad you weren't hurt when the Fair Current went down. What are your plans for the future?
I take it that by the future you mean past closing time this evening, right? Well, seeing as Captain Ty is the only seafaring man I know who's worthy of my company, I plan on going where he goes, whether he gets a new ship or cruise with another.
Thanks for the information, Paul. Captain Ty, do you remember me?
Well, blowed if it ain't William of Pianda. How fare thee, lad?
I'm well, Captain. But what of yourself? How did you escape the shipwreck?
As you recall, we could have taken the pirates, but when that beast attacked, it was every man for himself. I clambered into a dinghy with a few of the crew, but I thought we was all done for. We put away from the sinking ship with the creature's horrible cries ringing in our ears. But then, just as I was expecting to feel its claws on the back of my neck, I saw it veer off and away. A wave of relief washed over me, only to be dashed to the rocks by a rising tide of worry when I saw the creature make for the boat you shared with that minstrel. I can see you're right enough, my lad. But tell me, what of the Joy Man?
Gregor was killed, Captain. But after we landed, my friend Aaron here made short work of the beast.
Aye, I can see that one would be a match for any monster from the depths of the waste, he would. Well, sorry I am to hear about Gregor. That makes 3 sent to their graves, as 2 of my men went to the bottom along with my darling fair current. Now that she's gone, I'm casting around for what to do next. Some of my men stay true in the cut of their jib and wait for me to chart a course. The others, well, there's those that hoist anchor at the first hint of a squall and make for any port that'll have 'em.
Can you tell us anything more about Gregor? Did you know him well?
Gregor sailed with us one time before. His music sparked the lads' spirits and kept them hopping on the rigging like sand fleas. I carried him for free on our fateful trip, not just for the tunes, but also seeing as how he saved my life.
He saved your life?
Aye. At dinner at the captain's table, I swallowed down some jackfish the wrong way and catches a bone in my gullet. I'm gasping out my final breath on this earth when Gregor grabs a hold of me and hugs me so tight around the waterline that the fishbone shot clean out of my mouth. Nearly harpooned the second mate in the eye, it did.
I see why you felt he deserved free passage on the fair current.
And glad he was to take me up on the offer. He came to me late one night, nervous he seemed and anxious. Said it was a life or death situation. Well, I'm not one to ask too many questions. I just reckoned he'd found himself in between the wrong set of sheets when the master of the house came home, if you know what I mean. He'd saved my salty hide and that was enough for me. So we put to sea against the guild strike. Oh, no doubt you recall that, William.
Yes, I remember. A bit of a touch-and-go situation, wasn't it? Did you get a chance to talk to Gregor on the voyage out?
No, but the first mate, Paul. Now he might know more. Of course, you'll probably have to swab his decks with rum before he'll talk. He's most likely down at the Salty Dog or the Lusty Maiden this time of day.
What do you think you'll do?
William, I don't know for sure. Right now I'm in the doldrums waiting to see which way the wind picks up. The Fair Current was my father's ship before me. She's been my life since my mother hung my cradle up on the yard arm and let the waves rock me to sleep. I'm used to being my own master.
Can't you build a new ship? The Fair Current too.
I could, if I was willing to hire out to a merchant company or pay a hold full of interest to a banker. The other possibility is hiring onto another vessel for a year or 2. There's a few captains I respect enough to work for. I've got some money put aside after all these years, but not enough to retire on. Besides, I'm not ready to be landlocked yet. I'd rather be at sea.
You can't blame your men for taking work where they find it, can you?
Course not. What boils my bilge water is the manner of crew my men signed up with. Their captain came to see me when he heard about the Fair Current. Tried to get me to join up as his first mate, he did. Well, there's one pirate with a new bend to his nose.
How do you know they're pirates?
I've been around these parts long enough to know rotten fish when I smell it. And those boys are the rottenest. They're holed up close by here too. Don't know exactly where, but I see them around.
Thanks, Captain. It was good to see you again.
May your skies be red in the evening and the North Star always on your bow. Yeoman's luck to you both, lads.
That's some pretty bad weaponry for this point in the game. Zoe mentioned the whore from the whorehouse, so I guess it's time to pay her a visit. Happy day, guys. Happy day.
Do we have to come in here?
We won't stay long. We're just here on business.
Yes, I know, but what kind of business did you have in mind?
Don't even kid about that, Aaron. The day I have to pay for...
Aren't these girls good enough for you, William? What makes them so different from all the dairymaids and serving wenches you've no doubt bedded on so many occasions?
Jealous? Actually, not so very many occasions as you'd imagine.
But you still didn't answer my question. What makes an easy girl any different from a scullery maid? They both take things in exchange for their favors. It's just that an easy girl collects in burlas while a scullery maid makes do with cast-off petticoats and glass jewelry. Between the two, who do you think places more value on her assets?
But what about love? What about romance? Ladies go with me because they want to, not because I rented their services by the hour.
Well, that's what you want to believe. Go ahead. In my experience, people will do whatever they have to get by in this world. It's just more pleasurable to earn a trinket on one's back with the handsome son of a nobleman than by mucking out stable stalls. Or, at least that's what I'd assume.
So, you think I'm handsome?
Can we just do what we came to do and then get out of here, please?
Hello, Misha. How's business?
It comes and it goes.
They really had a lot of fun with this one.
We're here on behalf of a friend of yours, Gregor.
Is it true what I heard? Is he dead?
Yes, I'm sorry, but it's true. I was with him when he died. There was an enormous flying beast. He fought it bravely, but it was too much for him, and would have been too much for me as well if Aaron here hadn't come along.
Oh, I miss Gregor. He was the only man who ever called me by name. The right name, that is, when he... well, you know.
I don't think Gregor's death was an accident. He may have made some powerful enemies in high places, people who could pay a mage to send that monster. If you tell us what you know, we might be able to learn who was responsible and bring them to justice.
All right, but I don't think... Why should I tell you anything? Even if you catch who killed Gregor, it won't bring him back, so what's in it for me?
This is important, Misha. There's more at stake than I can tell you, but I know Gregor would want you to help us. Please.
All right, you sweet-talking thing, I'll tell you, but I only give out tit for tat, if you know what I mean. I can see you got money, but things has been good, and I need a favor more than a coin just now. So find me some sun cream, and then I'll talk. The local shop is out, and it's the only thing that helps with the chafing.
Listen, Misha, we really need to know where Gregor lived.
So, I really need that sun cream. Come back anytime. The door is always open to fine folk like yourselves.
Take care of yourself, Misha. In your line of work, no one else will.
Oh, good day, good day. Welcome to Marlin's Mercantile. How may I be of service?
I'm looking for a jar of Sen cream. Do you carry it?
Oh, my dear, of course I do. It's one of my best sellers. Quite a thing among the ladies. I don't like to boast, but they tell me that my Sen cream is the finest they've ever tried. Unfortunately, because it's so popular, I can't seem to keep it on the shelves.
Well, when do you think you might mix up another batch?
I would do it in a jiffy for you, my dear, only I seem to be missing some of the ingredients. Sadly, I do not know when they'll come in.
What ingredients are you missing?
Let me think a moment. I have the alcohol and the glycerium. All I need is sen water, animal fat, and fidala leaves.
Animal fat?
For supple skin and glowing vitality, restores youthful vigor to the most wrinkled, leathery, and ancient of hides. My clientele just can't seem to get enough of it. Oh, of course, you don't have to worry about such things as wrinkles and worry lines, my dear. Not with your young, soft, resilient skin. Oh, if only there was some way to bottle that. If you happen to come across the rest of the Sen cream ingredients, I'll be more than happy to mix you up a batch.
We already saw that they sell the animal fat, and I also saw that they were selling fidali leaves at the first town we started in. Or was it this town? One of the towns was definitely selling fidali leaves. I'm gonna make some more paste for myself. You kind of need, because they poison us all the time. Let's see. I'm gonna put the paste. Oh, I don't need that anymore.
Good day. Thanks for the fidala leaves. Now, if only I had animal fat and sen water. Good.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was only gonna have to give him one. I guess I don't pay that much attention.
Here is a fresh jar of sen cream.
How much do we owe you?
Oh no, I wouldn't dream of charging you. You provided most of the ingredients, and I have plenty of sen cream left to sell at the most exorbitant prices imaginable.
Thank you for the sin cream, Marlin.
Oh no, my dear. Thank you.
It smelled rancid and felt greasy. Aaron silently thanked the Triune for not making him so vain about his appearance as to rely on a concoction like this to maintain it.
Hello, Misha.
It counts.
We brought you the sin cream, Misha. Now will you tell us where Gregor lived?
Thanks, much appreciated to be sure. Now that you've lived up to your end of the agreement, I'll live up to mine. Gregor kept a room in Havesley for when he'd give performances for Lord Sheffield. My guess is if he had any enemies, you'd find them there. Oh, and you may need this key, though it grieves me sore to part with it, seeing as it's all I have of Gregor's to remind me of him. Well, besides for a pair of long underwear he kept here for the chillier nights. A courier brought it, the key, I mean, with a note that I got the fellow to read for me. It said, "My Misha, now you hold the key to my heart, wear it close to yours." He had a way with words, he did, but I suspect it opens more than he said.
Thank you, Misha. We'll bring the key back if we can. If not, then know that we'll do our best to avenge Gregor's death.
Come back anytime. The door is always open to fine folk like yourselves.
Take.
Upon close inspection, Aaron saw the key wasn't actually silver. A thin layer of silver plating covered a standard door key. So I'm gonna make my Fidali paste here. Let's see here. Let's drop something for a second. Get the ale. Okay, she told me Havesley. But, you know, we might as well go this way and go around. See that? He was shooting one of those bows that allows you to shoot 2 arrows at once. Really need this many bowstrings. The door was answered by a brown-skinned, desiccated man. William began to introduce himself, but stopped short, surprised to see a gray burro standing on the hearth as if warming his old bones by the fire. "Oh, don't mind Petrush," the man said. "I don't mind him. I was just wondering what a burro is doing inside your house." "Just about anything he wants to. Petrush and I worked side by side in the salt mines for 20 years and more. They pensioned me, but they were going to turn Petrush into cat food. I bought him and brought him home." "We haven't been as far north as the salt mines. What's it like up there?" "Let me start from the beginning. A long time ago, something dried up in an inland sea. Must have dried it up real quick, 'cause the salt deposits aren't muddied without sediments. After a while, things got back to normal, and this layer of salt was covered with layers of rock. Then someone found the salt and decided to dig it out." The burro turned his long ears towards the miner, looking as if he understood every word. "Salt mining is a lot easier than gold mining, that much I'll tell you right off. And the caves are beautiful. The way the light filters through the crystals makes you feel like you're standing inside a white and blue glacier." Body constitutional study of fire, field guide to irrigation and farming. Weather patterns of Ramar. So we've read this one. We have Dervish Discs and another Ring of the Ranger. Okay, well, we might have read constitutional study. I'm not sure. But it says magic on the body's constitution. That's interesting. So let's see what they do. 21 mid. Aaron read the book with interest. The author's insights on the nature of the body and how magic could interact with it gave Aaron much to think about. So that one gives me 5 to damage. And that's it. Interesting. 5 to damage. Alright. The bastard won't buy it back. We already read this from Grandier. That gave us strength. Let's see this. Aaron was particularly interested in farming, but one section of the book caught his eye. The mystic symbols and descriptions intended for itinerant rural mages gave Aaron unexpected ideas about the moisture in the land and air around him. So this, okay, 5 to water. Okay, I mean, they're not like a big deal, and once again, I doubt he's gonna buy that. No, he's not gonna buy it back. Of course. Each Rakah messengers stood at a bar sipping fermented nectar from long, thin glasses. Aaron walked up to them and greeted them courteously. Always eager to chat, the Traka invited him and his friends to join them. What say we exchange stories? Suggested one Traka with bright blue and yellow feathers. You go first, said a slender Traka with green feathers. Aaron drew a deep breath and began. Now I'm sure you've heard about the tragedy at the Imperial Palace not too long ago. A terrible fiend was trapped inside the consort's body in an attempt to assassinate the Emperor himself. Well, we three were actually there when the Wraith came out of the consort. The Traka clicked and chirped excitedly. Aaron waved for silence. I was one of the closest to him. I saw the creature rise up out of the consort's mouth. Using my magic powers, I wrestled with the Wraith, trying to subdue it before it could do any more damage. Kaelin commented to Aaron, is this the same innocent, truthful boy I left in your care not so very long ago? What have you done to him? William shrugged. Aaron continued, alas, my powers were not strong enough. The Wraith knocked me to the ground and went straight for the Emperor. Sadly, the Princess Aurora was in the way. She was stricken, her body falling beside that of the consort. The Traka rattled their beaks, all talking at once. Too sad, too terrible. How awful for you, for the princess, for the consort. Finally, they quieted down, and the green plumaged Traka offered her tale. I saw something just last week near the river southeast of Breland. A human struck another, struck him dead. Then he took something big and shiny from the body. He loaded it onto a rowboat. Then he went back to see if there was anything left to plunder. Suddenly, the Traka paused for dramatic effect. There was a rumble in the distance. The rumble got louder, and the ground started to shake. The man realized what was happening, and he ran toward the boat for safety, but too late. The herd of stampeding Karn caught him up and trampled him. I was curious about what he had taken off the corpse, but by the time I finished my delivery and came back, the rowboat was gone. I think maybe it sank. What do you make of that? Aaron puzzled over the Traka's stories. Can't really say I know what to make of it, other than the murderer got what he deserved and then some. William? I wonder what the big shiny thing was. It's always interesting to find out what's worth a man's life. As the party approached the open door, two burly men came out, carrying a wrought iron bedstead. A plump woman followed, scolding them. Now you take care of that bed, Jade, do you hear? It's been in the family for years. The movers grunted and took special pains to walk across the flower beds. Looks like you're moving, William said politely. Yes, and if your words with my husband, make him quit, because he has far too many important things to do to waste the day on business. The companions entered the house, and in amongst the boxes and packing crates, they came across a man wrapping candlesticks in an old tablecloth. Leaving Damali? William asked. Yep, moving closer to Coral. I'm guild master of the salt miners. But I thought a lot of salt went through this area, Havesley in particular. Not so much anymore. Caverton's contracts pay the miners more than Sheffield's do. Sheffield's been able to hold on to fewer and fewer men, with business slacking off here and picking up into Core. I've got to be where the miners need me the most, and since Lord Caverton is providing the wagons for my move, well, you see how it is. William's voice was yes, I see how it is. They explained here why there's so many dogs around here. I guess they, in the storyline. to explain how these guys got trampled by a bunch of Karn. What's going on? How am I missing all these signs? Man. Interesting. Fake dick spot, huh? Probably a bug. It's probably not a real dick spot. Take a brief detour here. Let's see. Make sure I carve out the map. Last guy has ultra instinct. So he just basically told you that I'm sorry for skip. I went through that way too fast. But basically he told me this is the temple in which the shepherds first started at. The whole guild of the shepherds began at this temple of Kor. So let's bless this newly great sword. In fact, I might just go back to last combat so we can read that real quick. Sorry about that. Let me get this done real quick. Brother of Kor, welcome to party. I am Brother Kenneth. How may I be of service? Aaron looked around the monastery. This place looks old. What is its history? See how thick the walls are? These buildings were the original shepherd stronghold. Aaron was puzzled. I thought the shepherds were a recent development. Brother Kenneth frowned. Unfortunately, that cult's leaders decided to borrow from a noble source when they chose their name. The brother tucked his hands inside his long sleeves. When the Gerolf War ended, a garrison was established here to watch the mountains and make certain the Gerolf kept the treaty. Those soldiers were known as shepherds since they guarded Antara from the Gerolf. As the years passed in peace, the men turned from warcraft to more intellectual pursuits. It was to these noble, isolated people that the Triune first spoke, and the garrison became the first home of the Brothers of Kor. Again, sorry about that. Gotta trying to get as many encounters as I can, get everything down.
Does it say?
Maybe I should just take scouting off of her, because it looks like William's just gonna get all the scouting. Those Chakra mentioned that somewhere near this town, near Breland, somebody dropped some shiny object into the water. So it's time to find that. Just fucking drop this shit. We don't need this. Somebody's gotta pick it up. See, this is kind of funny. I mean, it's somewhere along this river. This is ridiculous, but I thought I could have sworn it was right here. Come on, game. Stop being ridiculous. I don't know if I want to end it here. Just watch me fish for fucking 5 minutes. Ridiculous. Where is it? Alright, I guess we're gonna end for today, and I'm gonna find out where this damn flower is. Isn't that fantastic?